Hello, I'm Keith Dunnagan. I am the managing attorney and CEO of BPE Law Group. My day is a little bit different than a lot of lawyers. I manage the big vision picture of what the firm does, how we interact with clients, and mentor and train the lawyers as we hire them. I work with a variety of clients. My two main areas where I focus on, I work with a lot of real estate professionals, real estate brokers, real estate trade associations, real estate agents, helping them navigate kind of the life cycle of the transaction. And a lot of times what happens, especially what we've been dealing with lately, is with the NAR lawsuit and some of the challenges that are happening in the industry and how they respond based on the rules that are changing. How do we navigate dealing with consumers in the market with these new rules on compensation, and how do we make that? Because real estate professionals bring a high value to their clients, but how do they communicate that in a way that maintains compliance with the rules? On the other side, I represent a lot of healthcare industry. So I represent doctors primarily in their practices, whether it's mergers and acquisitions or general counsel. How do you navigate the business life cycle? Hopefully working from the time that they acquire their business, navigating the components related to operating the business, and ultimately when they're successful, selling their business and moving on into retirement. That's a big question. How did I get into this? I started out as a general practice lawyer, cut my teeth in a rural town, working with people from a variety of backgrounds. How do we navigate life? I got married and I relocated to California because that's where my wife and her family was at the time, and got a job here, and it was real estate. And I've always enjoyed real estate. I always joked that I wanted to be a land baron. And so I figured the best way to become a land baron is learn what rules apply to real estate industry and how you navigate through that. That practice opened a lot of doors for me. And one of the key doors that opened was the healthcare community. What happened was I had a group of doctors. They came to me and they said, "Hey Keith, we know that you understand corporate law. We know that you understand real estate. We want to build this building. Can you help us?" And as I helped them navigate it, it opened the door and opened my eyes to the opportunities to help serve healthcare professionals as they serve their patients. And what we realized is healthcare professionals, they provide a unique and valuable service, but oftentimes people aren't serving them. And so it gave us the ability to step into that market and say, hey, let us help you on certain things because we're really, really good at. Because when we take that burden off your shoulders, it allows you to do the thing that you're great at, which is taking care of people. And so it really comes down to what we look at and what we focus on is the why. Why do we do this? We wake up every morning wanting to help people, whether it's helping people in their professional life or helping employees and staff members. It's about waking up knowing every day that you're going to help somebody, and hopefully that impact that you make can just make them a little bit better every day. I hope they feel that we cared. That's the most important thing. A lot of times we look at the law and we think about the legal conclusion and how we get from point A to point B. But at the end of the day, the question really becomes, did that person care? Did they care about the outcome? Did they care about the client? Did they sit down and understand the client and what they really needed and why? So what we want to make sure happens is that when a client leaves, that they feel like they've been heard, they feel like they've been understood, they feel like we cared and we're invested in the outcome, and we work towards that. Now, sometimes that means delivering news that may not be great, but at the end of the day, it's delivering the truth with honesty and the ability to communicate what needs to be said and the result that we should achieve or that we should target, rather than how do we necessarily get there. I think it's the honesty. I've had lots of clients talk about this. They go to other lawyers and a lawyer tells them what they want to hear. not necessarily what they need to hear. One of the things that we value here is honesty. Tell the client what the truth is. Tell the client what they need to hear. It may not be a great message, but if they know what the truth is on the front end, it allows them to make decisions going forward in the process in a way that's intentional and beneficial. Because sometimes bad things happen. But when those bad things happen, what can we do to minimize the risk or the exposure is dependent upon the level of honesty that we have with the client on the front end. I start with knowing the client. How do I navigate something? How do I navigate a problem? How do I navigate an issue if I don't understand the client or if I don't understand their goals? So I start with knowing them. I want to know why they got into business. I want to know why they are seeking this transaction. I want to know what their goals and their outcomes are. Because at that point, what we want to understand is how to get you to your desired result. Because when we know who you are and what you need, we can fashion the plan to get there.